Hi, this is Kate, and this is the Seth House, and we are having Seth Talk. It is going to Facebook right now. I'm just setting it up and waiting for our panelists to show up. Heard from Jeff, he will not be able to attend today, and we will miss him. All right, so clicking the go live button. Here we go. So we are now live on Facebook, and I will pull it up on my phone so that I can watch what's going on. All right, here we are. All right, so on Facebook, we've got Dolores and Chen. And I don't know how to pronounce the next name. All watching. Hi, everyone. Still waiting for our panelists to arrive. So, oh, Sven is on. Hi, Sven. All right, so I'm gonna just watching to see who's coming and who's not coming. So one of the things that I was brought to my attention, and I thought it would be worth talking about, and many people aren't aware of the 4 ESP class books. So I saw a post today on Facebook from another group, and they referred to the third book in the ESP class sessions. And this was from April 13th of 1971. And it's about meditation. So a student had asked Seth of his interest in meditation and the feelings of depression afterwards. And here was Seth's reply. Seth said, "You have not told us a secret, but I will speak to you first. You are depressed because of your methods. You cut yourself off from the fount of your own creativity and intuition. Allow yourself to feel the spontaneous nature of your being. Do not attempt to control it. Feel the vitality that is within you. Show itself in those forms that are natural to it, whether they be imaginative, intellectual, or feeling reality. You are attempting to sidestep in those methods the basic vehicle of your experience at this point. The freedom and spontaneity of spirituality cannot be maintained or acquainted with other realities. Your own feelings hold within them a fount of knowledge, and you cut this fount off when you attempt to control them. They will lead naturally, spontaneously to a spirituality that is a natural outgrowth of present experience. In this manner, the natural world that you know will become a threshold of what you call spiritual activity and not a barrier to it. And I found that fascinating because in the beginning of my meditation teachings, I was always taught to, ignore my thoughts and clear my thoughts. And, I spent all my time trying not to think. And Seth is saying that that is so unnatural for us to feel that way, and that we're actually doing ourselves more harm than good. Um, So I would love to hear from the Facebook friends, what you feel about meditation and how it works for you. Um, I have always gravitated more towards the guided meditations because it did guide me along and then let my imagination watch the pictures that happened. And so that has always worked for me, but I've always felt that it was maybe an immature way to meditate or a beginner's way. But Seth seems to think that it's okay. It's okay. So we have Deborah on. Hi. Hi, everyone. Everyone's being quiet. And I'm so sorry. It's not much of a panel. Here I am. We sent out invitations, and any of you Facebook people that want to be on this, please drop me an email sometime, anytime during the week, really. I watch the email info@thesethhouse.com. And on that email, you can just kind of let me know who you are and how long you've been, reading the Seth material. And well, I'll get you the information so that you can be on the Zoom. So like I said, we invite people, and everybody's busy. And we did change the time. It's now 1 o'clock New York time. So I think that's 10 o'clock in the morning in California. So, everybody check your own time. And this is, I want to say, the third or fourth week that we've done this time. So it seems to be working out for most people, but I do get a slow start. So I'm sorry, here you are with just me. So that's a little bit about meditation. And even our Facebook friends are being so quiet. Nobody's saying anything over there at all. Well, I'm going to read a little bit more from this same class session. During break, someone wondered if Seth had any secrets. So his answer to that was, oh, wait, someone is coming in. It's Audrey. So I'll invite Audrey in and I will keep reading. So Seth said, I have a book of secrets. In each life, I had secrets. Now I have no secrets, but I will see to it that some of my favorite secrets are written down so that you may read them. Now your secrets leave me completely untouched, since I was an illegitimate mother several times, and as a father, I sired many that I did not know. Now that was in many of my youths. I was quite a pious old man and woman in many of those lives, and completely forgot or justified the errors in course of my youth. And this is why your secret did not bother me either, for I know that each of you have been both male and female, and that you simply adapt those characteristics that suit you most at the time. Now, you all want to do fine and mighty spiritual things, and many of you, as much as possible, want to do these things without facing the self that you know. And in order to have a good framework, you must begin with the self that you know. And you must not ignore feelings or emotions. And you must not decide which feelings or emotion you will accept and which you will reject. You will understand them all as legitimate experience and go on from there. You will not hide in concepts, and I will not allow you, any of you, to hide in concepts. And that was Seth from the early class sessions, book number 3. And that class was held on April 13th of 1971. And I especially love the class session books. And I don't know who's read them. Audrey, have you? Can we unmute you?
Do you hear me?
Yes. Hello. I'm so glad it's just you and me.
Hi.
Yeah. I'm hoping a few more will pop in. But I heard from Jeff and he is unavailable today, but he'll be back next week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. How you doing?
Okay. I just found out my sister has COVID, so
Oh dear.
yeah. So we'll see. She's a fighter.
Now, where does she live?
Queens,
Queens.
New
Okay.
York.
All right. Well, yeah, New
Yeah,
York. Yeah.
yeah.
And how are you doing?
Okay.
Yeah, your tooth?
Um, okay.
Okay. Okay, good. Mine's
I'm
okay
out,
too.
I'm out of quarantine now, so I'll take care of it.
Good, good, good. Good. Yeah. Oh, well, I took care of mine, but they can't see me until February.
Oh,
Everybody is so booked up. Yeah,
and
it's great. It's crazy.
how's
And
it feel?
mine is fine. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So, they put me on, some antibiotics and that took it away. Oh, well, here comes Marty.
Yay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we have just a couple even watching on Facebook. So it's a very quiet day. It's chilly here, not super bad. I think it's like 51, so it's chilly
Yeah,
for me.
that's cold here.
Yeah, yeah, I call it cold too. Heat's running in the house anyway, and the doors are closed.
Yes.
Hi, Martin. How is it for you? You're in South
Hi.
Dakota.
Yeah. Snowball, South Dakota.
Snowball. You have measurable snow there today?
Oh yeah, about 4 inches
Okay.
around there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I love it.
You love the snow?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
do.
I do not. I love it around 70s, 80s, that's what I like.
But I'm cold here at 70, so I don't know.
Really? Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
The air is colder up north, more north.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now 70s, 80s, I'm good. Even 60s to 80s. But yeah. Cool. So how's your week's been?
Went by super fast.
Yes, that
Real.
tends to happen.
Yeah.
For all, especially the people on Facebook, I have been working on the thank you letters. I have so many to catch up with. So I worked on them all day yesterday. So now it's a matter of me printing them, printing envelopes, getting them all put together. So I'm hoping they all get mailed by Friday. So for all the donations, and I am so grateful to everybody that has sent the Seth House donations, because without all of the donations, we wouldn't be able to continue and hold the apartment. So I'm so grateful for all of you. And I did pop over there yesterday. I'll tell everybody, Oshara hurt her knee yesterday. So she's in bed and she's reading Seth, but and I had to go and get crutches for her, and they were still over there at the Seth house. So while I was over there, I grabbed, oh, here, I got to put the computer down for a minute. Let me grab, I brought show and tell. So we were gifted these. Is that coming out right? Or is it backwards?
No, it looks fine.
It looks good.
I
Okay.
think.
So it says Seth says, and what these are is a deck of playing cards.
Yeah.
So the
All
back
right.
of the playing cards look like this. Okay, so they all have the little heart that says Seth says. And then they have a saying on them. So this particular one, so they're all quotes, and it says the book and page that it's found on. So this one says, and it's 10 of spades, my life is mine and I form it. Tell yourself this often. Create your own life now, using your beliefs as an artist uses color. You are given the gift of the gods. You create your own reality according to your beliefs. Yours is the creative energy that makes your world. There are no limitations to the self except those you believe in. So that's only one. So there's 52 of these.
Wow.
And obviously I'm not going to go over all of them, but here's another one. So that's what they look like. And let's see, in the beginning, it tells me, let's see, when. Okay, so these were, I guess, printed in 2001. So there's that with the copyright. And I do not know who Joy Distributors are. I don't think they're available anymore. These were sent to us by Paul and Joanne Helfrich. So they sent us a little package of things. We also have a game, and I didn't bring that because it was way high on the shelf, and I'm only 5 foot tall. So
Me too.
yeah, so I have to wait for Oshar to be able to do that. She's 6 feet tall.
My boyfriend's 6'6".
Whoa, now that's tall.
Yes.
That's tall.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
so I think that these can be found. I do believe that Ron has some, and I think Ron has some plans of his own. He got permission to do a deck of cards. What he wants to do is he wants to have the Seth portraits, the paintings that Rob and Jane did on the backs. And then on this side, he wants to have quotes, but he wants to have them in like 7 or 8 different languages so that they are international. And I thought that was such a cool idea.
Wow.
So I think, and I don't think like this is the size of a regular deck of playing cards. I think his are going to be more like the tarot cards, the bigger ones. He's going to do 7 different languages. He'll have to either use really short quotes or really small print. Yeah. So there's lots of exciting things, in the Seth world.
Be interesting to tell you.
Are yours going to be for sale? Sorry, Martin.
Oh, no, that's fine. Go ahead.
What?
The deck you have. Are
This
they for
was-
sale or they're just?
No, these are old. So this was given to the Seth House so that we have them. So we have a copy of them to show. We don't have the rights to reprint anything like this. Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's very cool. Somebody, I wonder if these people, I should try to find them. Joy Distributors.
I'm still trying to get Sonia Hamlin to sign permission. I'll let you look at Joy Distributors.
Okay. Have you heard from her or?
Well, according to her person that does her website, she'll have her do it again, but I'm in contact. I have an email to Boston University to see if she did it. And if she didn't, I'll get back again and
Okay.
I'll chase her.
Good. That's very positive. All right. So what were you going to say, Martin?
Oh, I just saying it would be something to tell a fortune with that kind of a deck.
Well, certainly to pull cards from this deck would be awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can pull one for you, Martin, and we'll see what it says.
Okay.
So tell me where to stop.
Now.
It's the Jack of Hearts. And it says, what so many want is a God who walks down the street and says, happy Sunday, I am I, follow me. But God is hidden craftily in his creations so that he is what they are and they are what he is. And in knowing them, you know him.
Huh?
And that was from Seth Speaks, page 461. Now, when it's giving pages, I have no idea what book they're referencing because I know there was at least 3 different versions of the book. So whether it's the hardcover or the small paperback or the one that we're used to now. So I don't know if the pages still work today, but you can usually, come close anyway.
Yeah.
Would you like me to pull one for you, Audrey?
Okay, but the 10 of spades that you read is very appropriate. That's how I'm processing my sister's COVID.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the one that was for you then.
It spoke to me.
Very, very beautiful. Very nice. Oh, Charlie's on. He says, "Hi, Kate." Hi, Charlie.
Hello.
So we have a couple of people watching on Facebook, but not a whole lot of commenting. Anything that you guys would like to bring up, think about, talk about?
My mind's just in my sister right now.
Of course, yeah. Now, does your sister take in the Seth words?
No.
Oh,
I've tried. She's kind of, I'm worried about her. Her son died 2 years ago.
oh, I'm so
She's
sorry.
not been the same. So
I understand yeah, that's probably the hardest to go through, the death of
yeah,
a child.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. If it were up to her, she would not be here right now. So
Well,
yeah, I mean,
yeah. So
through Seth,
as
I understand it, and that's
yes,
her creation, and it's up to her.
you're right. So as a great sister, you're supportive, you send the best of intentions, but yes, ultimately it's up to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Seth does say that no one dies that doesn't choose to die.
Yeah,
You know?
she's picking this. She's wanted to die 2 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I'll just say this, maybe this will give you some feelings of hope, is my mother felt that way when my father passed away. And for 10 years at least, she would tell us that, that she doesn't want to be here anymore. And then she did get cancer. And she did everything humanly possible to save her life. She tried her best, and she went through radiation and chemo, at least one operation, two operations, and she did get a lot of time in that she was able to do things that she wanted to do. And once those things were over, she did pass.
Yeah.
So, sometimes what people say when they are faced with their own mortality, if they have hope and if they have a reason to be here, they can turn it around like on a dime.
Well, her grandchildren are that reason. That's why she's still here.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, you keep reminding her of those wonderful
will.
children. Yeah.
Mhm.
And how much she means to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. This is why they say we're practical, Seth, right? We talk about real life stuff, but we do bring in his books too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps. It helps.
Good. I'm so glad. Then that's why we're here. That's
Yeah.
why we're here. How about you, Martin? Anything on your mind?
Not too much.
Snow.
It's because the last week was just such a whirlwind, but every week has been lately. So
Yeah.
I'm really kind of just tired today, more than usual.
Uh-huh.
But it's good that it's an earlier hour. So I don't know if I would be able to stay up if I were at 4 today.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then I'm glad that it's working out for you guys.
Good. Yes. Good.
Well, I guess we can go into, the side time. And, I picked that on meditation because Seth really said, put those thoughts of what you think meditation is away. And he called it side time. So psychic time. And so I try to use those words so it's not feeling like a meditation. Now, what I'm going to read today, I'll still do it the same way I've done it every week, but this particular one is astral projection. And this is one that you should really think about doing more when you're getting ready to go to sleep. So this is going to be more instructional for you to use than to do right at this moment. However, I will certainly give enough time, and you just may project, it's certainly, a huge possibility. I've had some really good luck doing this. So, and I hope you guys do too.
I've tried, never worked for me, but
Have you read? So this is from book number 1 of the early session. So I know that Mickey and Jeff are both reading this. And so I'm kind of glad that I can bring the lesser known books to people so that it gives them a feeling that, oh my gosh, that's great. And they go out and buy the books. So you can find them on Amazon, only used though. The only place you can buy new books is from Rick Stack's website. Wish I could remember the name of that website, but if you Google the early class session books and Rick Stack's name, it'll come up.
Yeah.
So he's got several techniques. This is only the first one. I'm going to do them in order. So next week I'll do technique 2 and then 3. So for today, it's just one technique, and it's from the early sessions, book number 1, session 265. And it is on page 210 for those of it out there that have the books. So let's go ahead and just close our eyes, and let's unify the space together using our breath. With our first breath, take it in through your nose, all the way down to your belly, and hold. And release fully through your mouth. And now a second breath all the way down deep in your belly and hold. And release fully through your mouth with a sigh at the end. Now, just listen to my voice as I read Seth words on Astral Projection technique number 1. These are my instructions. You may consider this your first lesson. We will go by easy stages, for we do not want you to be betwixt and between. You may induce a medium trance in whatever way you choose. On occasion, this will be spontaneous, as you know. For best results, in the beginning, it is good to make a projection attempt when you already feel physically drowsy, but pleasantly so. When you have induced the trance state, then begin to examine your own subjective feelings until you find recognition of the inner self. This involves a recognition of yourself as distinct from the fleshy fibers in which you reside. Then begin to imagine this inner self rising upward. You should experience, even at this point, an internal sense of motion. This motion may be from side to side as you gently shake yourself loose, so to speak. It may be a rushing upward. Whatever motion you experience, there will be a moment where you feel yourself, your identity and consciousness, definitely withdrawing from the physical organism. Before you attempt the projection, however, the suggestion should be given that the physical organism will be well protected and comfortable. Now, when you feel the consciousness withdrawing, there are 2 things you may do. I suggest the first step I shall give you in preference to the second. The first step is this: forget the physical body or what you are to do with it. You will yourself out in a quick motion. There is no need to experience the voice hallucinations mentioned by the author Fox. If the projection is a success, you'll instantly lose contact consciously with the physical body. You simply will not be in it. Now, your consciousness will not be in it, but it is hardly lifeless. Its maintenance is being controlled by the consciousness of the individual cells and organs of which we have spoken. I will give you alternate methods of projection, but I will be concerned now with what you can expect the few moments after you have left the physical body. Now let's take a few moments in this space. Now, all of those who want to stay in this side time can do so. For those who are ready to come back to Seth Talk, you may do so. Those who have chosen to stay inside time won't be bothered at all by those who choose to awaken and share their experiences. And when you are ready, take a few deep breaths, wiggle your fingers and toes, open your eyes, and come back to the program.
I wonder if probably since I can remember, I used to like, I'd be in school or what, and just drift off and like, oh, where was I? Bounce back in. I wonder if that was like a spontaneous possible. I don't,
Yes.
yeah, I don't,
Yes.
didn't see anything. I was just like, whoa, where was I?
Yes. And daydreaming can be just that too. Um, uh, Especially in school when you're just looking out the window, gazing around, and you don't really know where you are. And then all of a sudden you're boop, back in your body and trying to pay attention and catch up to where have I been? So yeah, that is spontaneous. And Jane's first, she had that out of body experience where she flew into the tree. And when she came back, she had written all of those words, and she didn't understand what had happened. And that was the manifesto, I think. And I'm not exactly sure. I wish Oshara was here for this one. I'm not exactly sure what that was about, or even
I,
if it's printed anywhere.
yeah, I wasn't, I don't think I was anywhere, but I was nowhere. Like it's just, it was kind of scary, so I would shake it out. But
And when I didn't practice this stuff in a more regular basis, sometimes things were scary. It's just not anymore. The other night after I wrote this, I was practicing it myself, and I asked to go to apartment number 5. I asked to go to the Seth house, and I was here in our apartment, and I felt like I was there, and I saw it, as pretty much as it looks now. But I was by the windows. I didn't really see the whole place, but I was by the windows looking out the center window. And I remember the feeling of being there. And then the next thing I knew, it was morning and I woke up. So I know that, my physical body is very safe, because I intend that to be. And yes, my cells all have their own consciousness that know exactly what to do to keep it safe. And then I, have that thread where I belong here. I know I'm going to come back.
yeah,
I don't have that worry as I might have when I was a child. I tell people, because I do hypnosis, and people, will say to me, well, what if you can't bring me out of it? And what if I'm, gone? Well, worst case scenario, you fall asleep, and when you wake up, you wake up.
Yeah.
So it's all okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but we
Well,
can we can go anywhere. And Jane did those experiments with some of the psychologists where she would project herself to a place that she had never been before, and then she would describe what it was, and she was right on. And there were places that she never could have known.
Now, do you have to put yourself in trance or?
Well, and I do it what Seth suggested. I usually do it right before bed.
Before
So
bed.
as I'm trying to fall asleep, I do this. So that is the best time even for hypnosis, is it's in that state of mind where you're very open to suggestion. So in with the intention that you want to go to a particular place or see a particular person, it really does work.
Well, I think I've spontaneously done that in dreams, but
Mm-hmm.
not with intention.
Yeah.
The funniest experience that I had along that line was, and it was actually had awakened already. I was awake, but I was in bed, and then spontaneously found myself in this lady's kitchen.
Oh,
And I said, "Oh, I'm just taking a break before I go to work." She says, "Yeah, but why are you in my house?"
Did you
wow.
know her? Did you know the lady?
No. To this day, I don't know who she was.
Wow.
Wow. And then I presume that bumped you out of that
Yeah,
feeling and
I came back because she wasn't happy to have me there.
that you were in her house.
Yeah, it was a very nice kitchen, though. It was just so comfortable and inviting. I guess that's why I went there, but
It could have
Wow.
been a counterpart of yours.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Or see, here's something else. It could have been someplace that you knew, but it was another time when it was different.
Yeah,
So that's
that's true.
so
That's
I've been reading Oversoul 7, and oh my God, that book is so fascinating. Because when they're experiencing, oh, what the heck, something's happening here. When they're experiencing jumping into some place, they have to be in the right time too.
hmm.
Yeah, it is very fascinating. And I had not thought about that. So when I jumped to, like, I know the walls were yellow when I did that jump. So I know that it's at least the last 3 years that Oshar and I have had the place, because prior to that it was blue. And then I don't know what it was before that. I mean, there was layers and layers and layers of paint, and it was all different. There was pinks, there was wallpaper at the very bottom. So nobody removed anything. They just painted over everything. Yeah. So somewhere in that was Jane and Rob's paint.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
it bled through.
Absolutely. And the vibration that you get when you're there is just different than anywhere else. When I was there just the other day, the fella that lives downstairs, he said it's like coming into a whole different world as soon as you open this door. The feeling is just so good there. Yeah.
One day after COVID, I'll get there.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we can't wait for that. We can't wait. And we're hoping by spring so that we can celebrate Jane's birthday or Rob's birthday, but so that we can do, some of the things that we've been planning for so many years.
I have a couple of cousins that swear I show up in their place sometimes too. And I don't, on this side of things, I don't recall being in their place, but I suppose it could happen while I'm sleeping.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
we don't remember a lot from our dream state
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I think Seth said that it would feel so unreal to us that our ego still filters it as
Yeah.
we're waking up. Yeah.
And they, of course, are completely welcoming of that. I mean, it's not something that bothered them at all. So I
Yeah.
guess that's why I was there. Yeah. So,
Well,
and they're
good.
very close to me. So, well, you know who they are, Jim and Jason. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie said sethcenter.com. That is the place where you could get the personal sessions. So I think that's a 9-volume set, and you can get the 4 ESP class session books. Rick Stack does them. He also sells a lot of the other books. So I know I buy the Seth Speaks there and Nature of Personal Reality. So yeah, you can, it's one-stop shopping. So thanks, Charlie.
Another really funny experience that I had, maybe it was it was a very spontaneous out of body, and I was walking to the bus stop one morning, and I was just kind of,
Oh, well, we're good.
that's okay. Yeah, and I was just kind of dazing out, and this big old dog came up behind me and, whoop, like to attack me. And I just bolted right up off of myself. And I mean, I was actually looking down on myself some distance above my shoulders. And then I turned around, and that dog was just running off nowhere. That
Wow.
pooch got more than he bargained for.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that might have been your safety mechanism to
Yeah,
get the heck
maybe.
out of there.
Yeah. Animals can see spirits, so
Yes, they can. So it scared them off, huh?
yeah, it did.
Good,
Yeah.
good. And saved your physical body.
Yep.
Very good. Hi, Joe. Joe's on now.
Hi, Joe.
Nicolene Strom is on. Larry Rush is watching. So welcome, welcome all our Facebook friends. So we can all practice astral projection or out-of-body experiences.
I'll get back to you on that. I'm going to try that
Gonna try that.
as
Good.
I'm falling asleep.
During the exercise, I wasn't trying to be anywhere in particular, but I saw myself above the earth,
Wow.
just
Ooh,
right where I could see the curvature and the
wow.
dark and the light. Yeah, just right at the cloud level almost. Yeah.
Wow. So this did work for you.
Yeah, it did.
Wow. Now, did you have a feeling of rocking or zooming out, or you were just up there?
It was just very sudden. I mean, there was no swooshing or sensation. It was like a pleasant lifting up feeling. And then I was just there.
So it was a gentle motion, not a real
Gentle.
abrupt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
Okay. Good.
gentle. Yeah.
Very nice. Woo. I keep saying this every week. I will try to record these, because if I record them, then you can, push pause and then stay as long as you like.
Mhm.
Did you immediately come back once I, said take a deep breath now?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Oh, we have a question in Facebook land. Judy Snyder, she said, I had an event where I was speaking during a Zoom event last week, and I was watching myself speak from a place outside my body. I was not channeling, I'm sure. Who was speaking? Whoa. Judy, I think only you would know that. You might have been channeling, it might have been your higher self, or it just might have been
Out of body watching it.
It just might have been you. So if you were speaking and seeing yourself speak, knowing, like what Seth said, that every cell in our body has consciousness and knows how to function. Your body may have been just doing what it normally does, and your consciousness was just observing what was happening. So it may very well have just been you speaking. She said, most alarming from that incident is that I do not remember what I said, although people assure me it made sense. Maybe someone has a recording of that so that you could at least get the clip of your piece of it. It certainly doesn't hurt to ask. And I think most Zoom events, you can record on your own. Even if you can't record it on Zoom, you can, for Mac users, I don't know about PC users, but for Mac users, QuickTime has a way that you can record the screen. So you can say, record the screen and record whatever is happening on Zoom, and then you have your own recording. And I do believe QuickTime is available for PC users as well. Oh, she has asked for a recording. Good, good, good. So she says, higher self, question mark. How do I integrate? My cells were highly vibrating. Wow. So you integrate by observing, by feeling, by trusting. And it's, what I had read in the beginning about meditation, pay attention to what's happening. Don't discount what's happening. So it was probably very important that you witnessed whatever was happening there. And maybe that is going to be the integration. And I'm just guessing at all this. I don't know. And who I'm talking to on Facebook, this is Judy Snyder, which is my Reiki teacher. She's the one that brought all of this spirituality awake in me. So yeah.
Wow.
Well, let us know when you get that recording, what was said. But I do believe that, we witness what we're meant to. If your higher self was just going to speak through you like channeling, and you weren't to witness it, you wouldn't have been out of your body. You would have been inside.
Or being aware of it might be the start of integration.
Absolutely.
That she was aware of it.
Yes. Yep. And it could also be channeling. She says she wasn't channeling, but it could have been another form of her consciousness, like a probable self or even a past self, that was speaking, and her present unconsciousness, like the ego part of her, needed to observe what was happening. So she said, trusting, scary, feels out of my control, but I was integrating some very useful info about my pandemic journey. Hugs. Well, Judy, you can feel free to share here. But it sounds to me like, you are beginning a journey of integrating maybe more of your probable selves or past selves, and you're starting to be aware of more than just the you that we know and see and can touch and feel. She says, that resonates. Okay, good, 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 good. And absolutely above everything else, and I will say this every week if I have to, Seth never told us to do anything. He never said this is the way it is or this is the way it's not. He said, trust your instincts, trust your gut, see what resonates with you. And that's why he gives us, 3 different ways to do it. He said, this one was the easiest one. Okay. So I love that, because it's the answers are all within us.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, gosh. So I don't know. I haven't heard from Mickey. I'm going to just drop her a note and see if everything's okay there. How about anything else? What else has been happening? What else comes to mind?
My mind's stuck.
Your mind's stuck. Well, you have a lot on your mind with your family.
I did have a really interesting experience with my niece this last week. She's gotten into a relationship with this fellow, a gentleman, and I guess in the process of getting to know each other, she learned that he is in the process of transitioning from female to male. She's totally okay with that. And so all the issues of same-sex marriage and everything, they're all very relevant for her. And she was talking about that, and people were concerned about this Supreme Court appointee that's about to happen and how that might affect the law where we're allowed to marry whoever we want now. I mean, regardless of gender. And I pointed out, I said, well, the Catholic countries were the first to legalize same-sex marriage, if you remember. It was the Protestant countries, including our own, that have been more hesitant. I don't know why that is, but it seems that there's a lot more openness within Catholicism, oddly enough, for it. And so I said, and I noticed, and I mentioned that I noticed when I was watching the hearings that Amy Coney Barrett, that's the appointee, she's expressed belief in a legal argument that a lot of Catholic politicians use to distance themselves from the church teaching when they're in their political office. So that,
Well, they're supposed to.
So that their political decisions are professional. And so I said, there probably isn't a concern there. It sounds to me like she's not going to try and strike that down. And I said, the Catholic Church, even the Pope, I said, and this is something that I said, the Pope is hinting that he is going to come out in favor of same-sex civil unions.
Well, he did.
And just the very next day that happened.
Yes, he did.
The very next day it happened.
Yeah. And what he said was
So
beautiful. He said that everybody deserves a family and to be loved. And that is the truth.
Well, my niece is in a gay relationship, and she's a teacher in a Catholic school, and she cannot say anything about it, or she could lose her job. So it's supposed to be a separation of church and state. It's a little worrying for me, but Amy Cohen Barrett. I see it differently as you. I'm not happy about it.
I'm was just trying to encourage her not to worry about it too much.
Well,
because to me it was like, and it was just a wonderful confirmation, because the very next day after I said that, the Pope did come out and say just that very thing. It was almost word for word what I told her.
Yes, I read the same thing. And right, I'm not so concerned about it either. I do know that, right, I understand where you're coming from, Audrey. However, Seth always said, don't worry about things and don't focus on things because you give it more energy then. So, I focus on the fact that, so many marriages have happened. What are they going to do? Take your marriage away, I think things that are done are done. I guess they can be undone, but I just don't think we're going to go backwards.
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't.
And that's what Amy Coney Barrett said in the hearing. She says that people have come to rely on this law, and that weighs heavily, and that
heavenly
strikes something on how reliant people are on it, and people have come to rely on this law. It's established.
Absolutely. I mean, even our health insurance is now significant others. Yes, of course, people rely on it.
Well, I get her girlfriend's job is fine with it. It's just her working for a Catholic school.
Exactly. And now that the Pope has come out like that, that may change for the best. And I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to become more widely accepted. even within the Catholic community.
I hope.
Yeah. Well, think positively.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's more her fear, and
Yes. Well, and that's understandable.
yeah.
Completely. I take it she doesn't listen to Seth either.
No.
We need to get these people on that they get this.
But
And
I just had a conversation with her mother, who is very set like with realities and her dreaming, and so maybe we can get them there.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Or I
Good.
could.
And the fact that you live it is a really good example, because that's the best way to plant seeds and to teach is to by example.
Well, I plant them. I do.
Good. Good. That's what we are. We're just little farmers.
Yeah.
Just little farmers. So, what else do we want to talk about? What else? We can talk a little bit more about the Seth house. It's been very quiet over there. We haven't really had any events. We haven't sent out a newsletter since, I want to say it was March was the last one, because we just don't have any new news yet. We're still collecting donations. And, like I said in the beginning, the donations are what keeps us alive. We don't make any money any other way. We don't sell anything, we simply promote the work.
Right.
And we don't take any money either. So basically the money that we earn from donations goes to pay bills or sits in the fund for the purchase of the house. So it's one of those two things. And right now, the corporation, I can proudly say, it owes no one any money.
That's
So,
good.
and it's great. Most
Yeah.
new companies are in debt for years, like 10 years.
Yeah.
And this one is and it has money in the bank. So, we're in good financial shape. We can, keep on renting the place, but the ultimate goal really is to turn it into a place of meditation, a place of learning, so that people could examine the books and read the books and be in the space where they were dictated.
I'd love to get there one day.
You're not too far away.
No,
What's it, about
no.
a 5-hour drive for you?
Yep.
Out?
I used to do it monthly to New York, so it's no big deal.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's lovely. It really is.
I
And
was near the house in the late 70s. I almost went there, but my car broke down, so I
oh
wasn't
my.
able to.
Well, if you ever get close and your car breaks down, you call us. We'll come get you.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, Judy is asking another question. She says, not to change the subject, but just wondering if Oshar is okay. Haven't seen her here in a few weeks. Well, you weren't on in the beginning, Judy, but Oshar hurt her knee, so she is in bed. It is swollen up like a cantaloupe. So she is on crutches, and it hurts, so I've got her being as quiet as possible and not shifting around a lot, and hopefully it does quiet down. So she just did it yesterday, and she has been working she's been hardworking. She's been trying to get this garage to a place where she could work there and create her artwork. And she's got her piano out there, and then she was helping me yesterday put up open signs for the store, and she fell and she went down on her knee, and it's a knee that it hurt her before, so it's a re-injury. So anyway, that's where she is, and I'm taking good care of her. She's going to be fine.
Good.
Yeah. So
I wonder why we're all creating these painful events, us with our teeth and
You know, it's one of those things that and this is this is a belief that I have, and it may not be true for everybody, but I think that when things like that happen, that it is a pushback. You know, it's like you need to like settle down, you need to be quiet. And I think COVID has done that for so many people. It's putting them into quarantine and everybody's being quieter. And here it is now. It's going to be November in less than a
Mhm.
week. Um, you know, next week when we come here, it's going to be an hour earlier, right? It's turned the clocks back on
Yeah.
Saturday night. So, you know, it's going to be an hour earlier for all of us. And I think that, you know, the universe is just telling us to slow down. And you know, her and I are just go go go, work work work. And you know, we got the whole shop moved from over here where it used to be, and we put it in the other room. And it, you know, it's wonderful, but we've done nothing but work. And the only thing left to do is the basement. And I keep telling her, I'm like, the basement will wait. Yeah.
Mhm.
And luckily everything is done over at the Seth house. There's really nothing we have to do. We check on it every now and then and make sure that everything is good, but there's really no maintenance that we have to do. You know, as
Okay.
long as people aren't staying there, you know, we just make sure that everything's in good working order, and you know, we check the lights and things every now and then. But, you know, nobody's um, in 5 every day. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think we've just been, you know, it's our body's way of pushing us to be quiet, to be still.
Oh,
Sounds
Does that
good.
resonate with you, Audrey?
It does.
Okay, all right. And then Martin, you're just go, go, go.
yeah, I'm that way. Yeah, I would work 7 days a week probably if they would let me.
Oh dear. All right. I remember when I was younger, I was like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with age, I'm already feeling like slowing down too.
I mean, I like my days off, don't get me wrong, that's a nice thing to have.
Uh-huh.
But when I get going, like I've done that before where I have worked 7 days a week, and once you get going that way, you don't miss not having time off. You just get used to
Hmm.
it. Yeah.
Well, and if you like what you do, that's important too. And
Yeah.
you do like what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Very good. Very
I'm
good.
happy to be retired.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's been nice opening the shop up again. So it's been still very quiet though. I've been open only 2 days. So I'm only open on Saturdays because I still can't teach because I don't have enough space for the social distancing. So in the store, I have it that only 2 people at a time can come in. That gives enough space for everybody to have that social distancing. And then I have masks and spray, uh, you know, hand cleaner for
Mm,
everybody to use. So I'm following all the rules over there, and it's just, you know, it's nice to see people again. And, you know, they come in looking for, well, crystals and sage, really, that's pretty much what I sell. And then I have some used books. So it works very well. A little bit of clothes. I do some sari skirts and things. So you know, it's a small store,
yeah.
and it's nice to have people come in again. Now, so far, no one new has come in, so they're all people that have been here before and that I know, and you know, they're like, oh, it's just so nice to be able to come into this space again. So yeah. And I think it's, you know, people are waiting for this COVID to lift. And I think people got tired of it, you know, and they
Yeah.
want to see their families and they want to see other people. And now everything is pushing back to no, be quiet again, still be still. And if we don't listen, our bodies are doing it for us through
Mhm.
whatever, tooth pain or knee
Yeah.
pain or, you know, whatever's happening. So best to listen to our bodies.
It's making me want to get a hobby because I'm going nuts.
Beautiful. Do it
Yeah.
then. Do it then. That's what brought me to painting.
Well,
I've done more painting since COVID started than I've done my entire 60 years of life. 61.
I started sketching again, so we'll see.
Nice. Well, you have the most beautiful reference material.
Yes.
Very nice. I'd love to see some of your sketches.
Well, okay.
Someday.
Someday.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't like showing it. I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah. I just put up whatever, even unfinished work. Sometimes that's the most fascinating.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I used to paint acrylics, but
Uh-huh.
it's been 50 years since.
Take it up. Take
Yeah,
it up again. Or try
yeah.
something entirely new.
Yeah, I have to find something because I'm just going nuts. Facebook is making me nuts, and I don't want to be nuts.
Of course not. So so keep reading Seth books.
My favorite hobby right now, of course, is genealogy. That's
Oh, I like that too, actually.
that's a
Oh,
lot of fun. Yeah.
I have an aunt who traced back my mother's side to the 1500s in Canada.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my father's side is from Austria and Czechoslovakia, and a lot of the records were destroyed.
mhm.
But I love that stuff.
DNA genealogy is just getting started, and boy, that's going to open up a lot of information for people, because they're discovering, and I don't know exactly how it works, but we inherit our ancestors' memories in our DNA. I know that sounds wild, but eventually what might be possible is to actually play your DNA like a DVD.
So that
Wow.
would be cool.
Yeah.
Now that's a little high tech.
No, yeah. And so talk about accessing records. There you go.
Wow.
You
Now
can't get any better than that.
right. I had not heard that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now, if you listen to Masaru Emoto's work, you can change your DNA by your thoughts and your words.
Yeah.
So I wonder how all that plays into it.
If I'm understanding correctly, the information seems to be inherited at a quantum level. So it isn't so much the DNA itself, it's in the DNA.
I see. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just memories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
All the memories that everybody has ever had before you that you descend from, you have them. They're in us.
Wow. Then you have all the probable use and all the past life use.
Yeah. I
And
wonder
then
about
people wonder why they forgot.
that. Yeah.
I suppose if we had all those memories, we would just go bonkers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Organizing it all and accessing it is one thing, making sense out of it is going to be another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And unless we could also remember exactly where it came from and
Yeah.
where the memories came from, like if it was a past self or a probable self or a relative. Yes.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if it'll happen in my lifetime, but yeah, when
It
it does, it'll be something.
it just might. I'm
Yeah.
so looking forward to 2075 when everything is completed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, I just heard from Mickey. She's on her way.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. Everything is good. So
I miss her and Sean. I miss Sean and missing Mickey today.
and I wonder if the time is just not good for Sean. I have not heard from her. It's been a while. It's been almost 2 months, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. We'd love to see her too. Gabriel is watching. And Anna's on. Hi, everybody. Any other questions, comments, thoughts from our Facebook friends? But we're all doing good here.
It helps me being in the moment right now, so it's good.
Good. I'm so happy about that. Here comes Mickey.
All right.
What was that, Martin?
Oh, I was going to just bring up another kind of out of body or astral projection experience I apparently have had.
Go ahead.
A lot of people over the years have said that they've seen me sleepwalking. But and I've never actually caught myself sleepwalking. In fact, I don't have any evidence that I do. I just kind of wonder if that isn't an out of body thing going on.
That's so weird. That's kind of like a reverse out of body. It's your body is just taking a stroll while you're sleeping. I never thought about that before. That's fascinating.
Hey, Mickey.
Hi, Mickey.
Hello, everybody.
Hi,
hello.
Mickey.
Good to have you on.
Thank you. It was good to cut through all the stuff and get here.
That's a beautiful color you're wearing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. It's a favorite jean jacket.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a form of denim corduroy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's texture like velvet.
Okay. Well,
very heavier than velvet.
It looks very pretty with your coloring.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. It's so good to see everybody now.
Yes, it's good to see you. You're going to have to go back. We did the meditation already, the side time, and we did it on Astral Projection.
Oh, okay. I will do.
Yeah.
I did that with the other one that I had missed the beginning. Boy, you all are getting in there right from the gun.
Well,
the moment it's 6 o'clock, let's do it.
Well, again, there was Audrey didn't even come on until a little bit later. So
I had trouble actually getting on, but I got on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of alone on here. So I started doing some reading of some of the Seth material on meditation. So the beginning was more actual reading from Seth, and I was reading from books that most people don't have. So I read from personal sessions and the ESP classes.
You know, I was trying to find the spot you were telling us that you were going to use from the early sessions.
Yes.
I'm looking at the title there.
It?
No, because the number you were giving of the the session was 3 digits. And even where I was in the book, when you said page 210, I went to page 210, and that was session 27. So I don't know what the difference is in my printing, or I don't know if it's because of a time when this print was done, but it just sounded like it must have been a different book, because the sessions in this book only go up to about 29.
Okay.
Book 1 of the early sessions.
Well, go ahead and chit chat. I want to see, because that's crazy.
Okay, you were saying it's session number what?
On this, it says it's session 210.
Oh, okay. I have the book here.
But still, that's early book 1. You know, you're right.
That
doesn't even make sense.
Here's the title. Here's the title. Book 1.
Well, I don't have the book.
And it says sessions 1 to 42.
Okay.
it couldn't be session 200 and something.
Nope, it has to be something different. All right, let me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on finding Seth.
It may be that the book you have is actually book 3 or 4, maybe, and so that the session numbers would be higher, but they only go up to 42 in book 1.
Okay.
Whatever. It doesn't
All
really
right.
matter, but I just thought I'd mention that we were trying to catch up with you.
You look very pretty, Mickey, today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
You
much.
always do better.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was very, very relaxed when I sat down to do makeup and stuff. So I made a conscious effort to really, really relax. So I wasn't rushed. I just took my time, kind of played with it, got dinner done and so forth. So as I said, I had a couple of things to do when just at the exact on the tick of 6 p.m., so I had to jump up and suddenly do a couple of things for my husband. So that threw me off a little bit. But luckily, you see, everything else had been done.
Okay. All right, Mickey. It is the early sessions, book 6.
Ah, ha, ha, ha.
265. Yeah.
Book
It
6.
is
That's a
book
long way from
6.
1. Yeah, yeah.
Holy
Okay.
crap. All right. So I will, so so where I'm getting these exercises from is there's a PDF that someone compiled. I don't know who it is.
Mhm.
So I am pulling that from that compilation. And this is what they're saying. So I will check from now on with Finding Seth to make sure of the sessions.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did find it. It's actually it doesn't say what paragraph it is, but
Mm.
it starts with
But
these are
it's
my
it's a
instructions.
different book. Yeah.
It is a different book. It
Yeah.
looks like the same book, but it's number 6.
Okay. Yeah, they all have the same
Well,
cover.
thank you
Yeah.
for bringing that up. So astral projection technique number 1 was from the early sessions, book 6.
Okay.
And I have no idea. And I don't even own book 6, so I can't even check on it.
I don't either. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
So
either.
I'm
Not
going
yet.
by
I'm still
finding,
chasing it.
yeah, I'm going by Finding Seth. So, and I love findingseth.com. I look
I
up
do.
stuff every single day.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Something, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm beginning
absolutely.
to use it more and more. I'm starting to make it a tool that I use to help check my stuff and
Yes.
clarify a point or whatever. Then I can see it exactly as it was written, and that helps a lot. So that's a
Yes.
great resource.
Yes, it is. Hey, Mickey, I want to do something for you. I pulled a card for Audrey and Martin earlier. I
Oh,
have some cards here.
Seth
Can you
says
see
I've
them?
never seen that. Yeah.
Well, it was a little bit of show and tell. So I'm gonna pick a card for you. You tell me when to stop. Oh my God, they all fell. You can't
That's
have
very
all of them.
Scorpion.
Are you
That's
ready?
very
Tell me when to
Scorpio.
stop.
Okay.
All right. So 8 of diamonds.
Haha.
So this is what they
Okay.
look like on that side. 8 of diamonds.
Yes.
And it says, the shift of seasons always gives rise to added bursts of psychic energy, though indeed the added bursts of psychic energy are the main responsible for the shift of the seasons. I
Mhm.
believe that you will find during such times that you achieve higher plateaus of success, and the natural aspects of the seasons change will themselves trigger such inner activity if only you will allow it.
Wow.
And
That's
that was
cool.
in book 2 of the early sessions.
Cool.
So these were gifted to the Seth House. So the Seth House owns these by Paul and Joanne Helfrich. And they
What is
were,
that? Who designed them, or
no,
just
so
who sent the gift?
that's who designed them. And I don't know
Joy
who they are.
Distributors. I
Yeah,
don't either. Okay.
2001. And
Wow.
they're
Seth
the size
says
of a real deck of cards.
of regular cards. Yeah.
And there are
That's a
42
nice
of them.
resource. Oh,
Yes, yes, yes. And so anyway, it just was suggested. I'm like, oh, well, what if you can pull a card? So I've pulled a card for everybody so far. So
That's nice. The Eight of Diamonds. Now I'll have to look on the tarot and see what that corresponds to.
oh,
And in my chart. Because you
oh,
know, every tarot card is one of the spots on the zodiac.
oh,
It's every decadent. You know how you have 30 degrees in a sign?
yeah,
Okay, and you have those three decadents in each sign.
okay.
Well, each decadent also has a tarot card.
Oh, I see.
So you get some very interesting readings by looking at, you know, which cards are talking about your chart.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I was over at the Seth house yesterday,
I
so
love that.
I wanted to do some show and tell with Sethy stuff from years ago.
Are
And
they still available
I
in the
don't
world?
think I don't think so. I've
Oh,
never seen them before.
I haven't either.
But yeah, you know, maybe you can find them like on eBay used,
Hmm.
but I don't think you can buy them new. I'll do a little research to find out about this
That's
company.
very interesting. Yeah, I'll start digging on Google
Mhm.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ron Card is going to make a set of
Yep.
his own
Oh,
version of it.
Yep. He's talking about it. He wants to
And
have
okay.
the
that sounds really good.
yeah, he
Mm,
wants to do it in like 8 languages so that it's totally international.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how's your week
Isn't he
been?
a trained astrologer as well?
Who? Ron?
God.
I
Is he
don't
an
Ned,
astrologer?
I
I
don't
think
think
Ned,
so. You do?
I think Ned was.
Oh, Ned. Yes, I know Ned is. He's very
Yeah. I don't
accomplished.
think Ron is.
Okay. Because that would have a great deal to, a knowledge of that would have a great deal to do with helping guide the process of picking Sethianisms that correspond to a certain sign.
Joe is on. She wants me to pick a card for her.
All
Oh,
right.
how
So
cool.
I will do that. So Joe, you tell me, just tell me on Facebook to stop. Just type stop, and that's the card that I will pick for you.
Okay, then.
I hope you can hear me, Joe. Just type stop and I will. I really want this connection to be yours. All right, well, since we're live, I picked one for you. And it is the 9 of Spades. You must remember that beginnings and endings are realities only within your own system of three-dimensional life. Your own greater energy dips in and out of space-time continuum. As it does, its experience becomes physical. And that was from The Nature of Personal Reality, page 388.
Wow.
There you go. That's for Joe. And when it's giving page numbers, because this was, I don't know what version of the books they used for these page numbers, so they could be off too.
Do versions of the book change?
The page numbers do, yes, because the
Oh,
size of
oh,
the
the
book. So
numbers.
the
Yes,
hardcovers are
yes.
different pages than the paperback than the new paperback.
I never thought about that.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
And we know that because when we did Seth discussion group, we had people that used all three different versions and we were never on the same page. So all those that had the old book had, they did their page
no
numbers.
pun intended. Okay.
Yeah.
We were never on the same page.
Talk about alternate reality.
Yeah,
That's
hello.
right. Okay. All
That
right.
makes it real.
This is going to be a page to draw cards. So whenever ready, count to 5 and draw one for me. Judy wants me to draw one for her. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God. I pulled the 5 of clubs.
Oh
Wow.
dear.
That is
Okay.
so funny. All right. So this one says, indeed, when I speak of the future, I do see possibilities and speak in terms of trends of activities that may change. This is why, often, specific dates do not materialize as given, or why events foreseen do not occur as given. For at no time are there any events predestined. There should be no such word in your vocabulary, for with every moment you change, and every heartbeat is an action, and every action changes every other action. And that last line is underlined.
Mm-hmm.
And that is from page 49 of the early sessions, book 5.
Very interesting. That's a good one.
Yeah, so
That's a
that
really
that
good
was
one.
for Judy. Very nice.
Hmm. We've got to find out about these cards.
And I haven't even looked at all of them yet. So
Uh-huh.
I'm, as I'm reading them, it's the first time really I'm seeing them too.
Well, the thing is that there is such an enormous volume of Seth materials to choose from,
Oh, yes.
so that you could put out a new deck of cards every year
Oh,
with appropriate
yeah,
things.
absolutely.
And they would have a vintage, well, from this year and from
Mhm.
that year and from
Good idea.
so
Yeah.
forth. Yeah, because I mean, the books are just so prolific. There's so many of them.
Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah, yeah. And so I know most people that pay attention to this group, have read Seth Speaks. They've probably read the Seth material and the Nature of Personal Reality. And some
Yeah,
have delved into some of the later ones, but it seems that the early sessions are the personal sessions, and then the class sessions, most people don't even know exist. So,
yeah.
and I love them. So the early sessions, book 1 to 9, is from the first session all the way through, I think, 509.
510,
Because
510, I think.
well,
Yeah,
510
9 or
is where
10.
Seth Speak starts.
Oh, that's where it starts. Yeah,
Yes.
okay, that makes sense.
So
So
so somewhere in
509.
that area.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
all the preliminary work that Seth did with Jane and Rob to get ready to write his own book. So I
Well,
think that's
I've
so
been
significant.
I've been shocked by how much it adds when you go back and read the early sessions. I kept thinking, oh yeah, okay, so it exists. I mean, I've known about it for ages, but I just didn't see where it was such a big deal. I mean, okay, I've read Seth Speaks, I've read Seth Material, and you've gone through so many, and it's just, oh yeah, well, that was the early sessions. I want the real stuff after she knew what she was doing. But I've opened it, and it's amazing how much more it reveals about who they both were as people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those wobbly steps in the beginning, I'm so used to thinking of her as this mountain of psychic capability, because at the time I was just about what, 26 or 7 or something like that, and was freaked out by the fact that I was doing direct voice as well. And I just got so confused by it. I mean, it just seemed, it went against everything everybody else was saying you should do. And I thought, well, this is confusing because it's so pleasant and nice. This lady really knows what she's doing. Let me ask her. And
Yeah.
that's how it all started. And to read the early sessions when they very first put their fingers on the Ouija board, all of that self-doubt, all of the little trying to do it this way and trying to do it that way, and it was so familiar to anyone else who has ever touched a Ouija board.
Mhm.
The things that they ask themselves, the things that cause them to doubt,
You know what?
what
One
we're
of her
doing.
one of her first questions was, Edgar Casey, are you here?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Now I have touched that Ouija board
Oh
that
yeah.
Seth came through because Ron has that. He brought it up with him
That
last
gives me a
year.
chill. That
So
gives me a chill.
yeah, Oshara,
Yeah.
myself, and Ron got on that board, all the three of us together, and Ron was sitting in Jane's Kennedy rocker at the time.
Oh
So
my
yeah,
word.
and it was on the coffee table that Rob used to put his feet on
Yes. Yes.
So we had all those pieces together, and
Talk
yeah,
about moments in time that are connected.
yeah, yeah, it was amazing. And we took so many pictures of people either doing the Ouija board during that day or sitting in the rocking chair. And I tried to get their reflections in the mirror that was original to the house too. So
Oh,
yeah, it was quite an experience, and I can't wait until we can do it again. I'm hoping this
wow.
spring.
Unbelievable. Whew.
Yeah.
I'd love to
Yeah.
be a fly on the wall for that.
Well, we videotaped a lot of it. We
Really?
need what we need. Let me put it out there to the world. We need a videographer. We need
Yes.
somebody that's willing
Who
to
can
take these hours,
edit
hours,
tapes?
hours of video that can edit it and put it together in a way that people can watch it. I mean, so much of what we have is well, it's all fun, but
Yes.
for people to watch it, it gets a little boring.
No, I
We
understand.
need
You really
clips
do
here
have
and
to,
there.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, cleaning it
And
up.
and that's not my specialty.
Mm-hmm.
We're using our phones, so we have the phone like this and then we turn it like this. Well, then you're looking at the screen the wrong way.
Right,
So we need
right.
somebody that knows how to take care of those things. And
Amazing.
and that is something that the Seth House really could use, somebody to volunteer their time to be able to do stuff like that, so we can
Mm-hmm.
get that on the YouTube
Mm-hmm.
channel so that people could see this. We have the one video there that a videographer did do for us. And it's wonderful, but that's after all the work was done. We have all this raw footage of like when we first walked into the room and got the keys
Oh,
the very first day and
oh,
what
Right.
it looked
wow.
like. And it was a mess. And yet it was, Oshar talked in that video.
Exhilarating.
I was doing the pictures and she was just beaming from ear to ear that, we did it. We did it. It was like such success because we
Yeah.
had started the Seth House project before we never thought we would get that apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And then the universe opened it up to us that we did. Um,
Wow.
and there she was explaining every corner of every part of the house. It was amazing, but it's
Whew.
very long. It's well over an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody except us could sit through it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was wonderful. So the card I pulled for Joe, she says, thanks. The entity popping in and out. That's what happens all the time. It's quite interestingly accurate. I'm sitting in an ending and slowly evolving to new beginnings. Beautiful. I'm so
Yes.
glad.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Nice.
Yeah,
So,
that
and we love to share the house and the feeling more than anything. So COVID just
mm-hmm.
needs to end so that we can start again. Like we were taught before you got on, Mickey, we were talking about how things kind of stopped us from doing different things. So whether it be COVID or the tooth pain that Audrey and I
Yeah.
were both feeling,
Yeah.
or Oshara hurt her knee, so she's in bed right now. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, she's feeling better than she was yesterday. So we're just
my
I'm just
goodness.
gonna take care of her. But
It's been a
it's
very
like things are
testy
just
week.
saying slow down.
Yes,
Go
that's
within.
what I'm getting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Better
Well,
planning so that I can take my time to do things
hmm
and not be exasperated
yeah.
when I don't have enough time to do it the way I want to do it. But well, if you had started at a reasonable point, you would be fine. So that's what I'm getting. Yeah.
Well, we're hoping for the spring so that for Jane's birthday, we could have
Mm.
people in the house again. We
Mm-hmm.
were hoping that we were going to be able to do it because we usually do, Elmira does like a Victorian house Christmas thing where you can go and visit different houses that are on a list.
Mm-hmm.
And last year at the last minute, we got on the list. So we had some 50 plus people that just came in to look at the two apartments and the architecture in the house. And
Hmm.
some people were just curious about the house. Other
Mm-hmm.
people, were curious about Jane and Rob and Seth. and we had, and I mean, we didn't decorate for Christmas or anything, but we had people there and information, and we took email addresses and things, and we got donations too, but we didn't charge for any of that, just
Hmm.
leave stuff. And we thought we would be able to do it this year, but they've locked us down again. We heard England is locked down again.
Yes,
Heard Ireland. Now I'm hearing Italy is.
yes.
And they have, like, not all of New York is, but our particular area, there's some outbursts. So our area is now shut down to all personal services. You can't eat inside again. So I'm still able to keep my little shop open the one
Mm,
day that I'm open, but yeah.
interesting.
So again,
It's
it's
it's so
go within and be
sweeping.
quiet.
It's such a sweeping thing. It's so completely across the planet that is mind blowing
It
as
is.
an
So what's
event, you know,
what what's
as a
happening in
reality.
what's happening in England?
It's just extremely locked down. You have a great number of people who are more and more fed up with trying to do what they're supposed to do, so they continuously mouth off about, well, I have a right to do blah blah blah. Yeah, so you're saying you have a right to not only die from something, but infect a whole bunch of other folk. It's
Sure.
just a craziness.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
I, sh- I,
craziness.
I shared earlier, my sister now has it.
Oh,
Yeah, tomorrow she gets a lung x-ray, and based on that, she'll either be in the hospital or she won't.
oh
She's
my
been
goodness.
on medication for 2 weeks. It's done nothing.
Oh,
Oh goodness. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry to hear that.
Oh, thank you.
We have two people in our family that have it. Two very, very young, robust people, young people.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going to happen, but it's mind blowing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
It's
mean,
mind blowing.
she creates. Seth gets me through it. She's creating it. I get it, but on a human level, I'm sad about it.
Right.
Of
Of
course.
course.
Of
Of
course.
course. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Well, I will definitely send some healing energy
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
to everyone, really. Yeah, to everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
This is scary stuff,
Yeah. And
you
and
know.
and the numbers are going up. Um,
Hmm.
so just everybody needs to, follow the rules and keep safe
Yeah.
and be positive and stop the spread. Just
Yeah.
it needs to stop with us, each one of us.
Yes,
Mm,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good way of thinking of it. It needs to start with each of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Martin, so South Dakota, I hear they're, getting a little bit more of a lockdown. Is it affecting you much in your area?
They were talking about it the other day and they said, we're not going to mandate anything. It's, they're going to approach it the same way they did before.
Ah,
I mean, our numbers are up, but our deaths are still way down from the
Okay, good.
national average. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to say too much because I have a whole totally different take on all of this.
Of
So
course,
I,
yeah.
yeah.
yeah, and I don't want to, yeah, get too
Well,
No, it's fine.
I said before, my sister, I think, wanted to die for the last 2 years.
yeah.
So
Mm,
she chose, her son died tragically, and she's never been the same.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I feel I'm safe. I
Yeah.
don't know if
Hmm.
I don't even know
Yeah.
what she wanted inside.
Yeah,
Well,
everybody has their own particular way of looking at it, their own
Yeah,
right,
particular way
right.
that it touches them.
yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is for her to hold on to hope. When
Well,
there's
she's a
hope,
Scorpio, so she's a fighter, and
good,
that's,
Yeah. I'm a Scorpio.
good.
Yeah.
we'll see.
Very interesting. The whole thing is so interesting. It's difficult because we are all suspended right in the center of it. We can't look back on it yet. But once we get to a point where we can, it's a phenomenal thing to examine in terms of the fate of the whole world, the karma of the whole world. It's just unbelievable. Wow. I've heard people say these are trying times. It's a saying that you hear all the time. But I've never gotten so much meaning from that as I do now. I had no idea that things could be the way they are. So it's taking more of me to put my head around trying to work with it, trying to be cool. I never knew I could be cool on such a level. you know.
Yeah. I think the main thing is, we're all choosing to, for whatever reason, however we look at it, we're not going to be filled with
Right.
fear over it. We're not going to have fear
Right.
about it. That's not going to be part of the picture of it for
Exactly.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
100%. So it's you follow the
Yeah.
rules, you do your part, but yeah, there is no fear. And so much of it is just respecting other people and their space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's their airspace or their, physical space, but it's respecting them enough to do your
Yeah.
part to keep everyone safe.
Yeah, that's become part of
Yeah.
the main thing about this issue.
Hmm. Yeah.
We're being forced to respect other people's space on many levels.
Yeah, I guess. I don't feel like I'm being forced because I could choose just to
I
not go
choose,
out,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
don't
it
mean
is,
forced by a person. I mean the circumstances have made it necessary for each person to deal with issues of
yes,
personal space. It's
yes.
the issue of the times. So we're
Beliefs
all
and
working
yeah.
it out. And it means that we're not just a couple of people over here and a couple of people over here who happen to be into something that they're studying. No, this is everybody. I said everybody's going to stop right this minute, stamp your feet, and pay attention. It's Gaia has said, "Oh, you didn't listen to anything else I said? Well, check this out."
Yeah,
And it's just amazing. The tiniest of her creatures, tiny virus,
yeah. And
doesn't even need a stampede of gorillas have now taken over Europe. No, I don't even need the big boys.
Well, the thing about it is now that the way we've got everything set up now, we actually could have a really serious
Oh
pandemic
yeah,
now
yeah,
because the immunity chain has been broken. It's just been completely
yes,
devastated by all this separation and mask wearing. It's completely that robust immune barrier that we used to have that doesn't exist
no.
anymore. And if another bug comes
Oh,
along, God
God
forbid,
forbid.
yeah, we could really have a really very bad
Yeah,
situation on our hands for real.
yeah.
No doubts about it. Yeah, so get ready, be prepared,
Mm,
and I mean that's what we're learning now is how to handle it. So
exactly.
yeah,
Well, to be talking about a subject of creating our own realities, when you take a look outside of the panel meeting and you take a look at the reality, it says a lot to see what it is that we've all created on so many different subjects. They're all kicking off at the same time. So
And we chose to
we
be
really,
here, didn't we?
exactly. Yeah. So we have to start figuring out what it is we're supposed to be doing to handle what we volunteered to handle.
It got
Because
me
this,
back in nature taking the pictures. That
right.
I kind of wasn't there for a long time. But
Mm.
yes,
Well, they're
got me.
beautiful pictures. I love
and
it.
and that's a wonderful hobby.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, but it's getting cold here.
Yes, it is.
it is here too. I'm surprised at how much of the day I've actually had some heat on,
Yes.
to to warm the room.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
We've
It's
had it.
like, here we go.
Hmm.
It's true now.
Hmm.
I have to admit, yes, it is time for the heat.
Now, Martin says it's 4 inches of snow, so he's really cold.
He's ahead
Oh
of us.
no, really?
Yeah, snow.
Oh, dear me. I'm not ready.
If I was
I'm
there, we
not
could
ready.
have a
I love it.
snowball fight.
Yeah,
Well,
They're
I wouldn't.
they're
I'd be
call
sitting
they're
inside with the
yeah,
hot toddy waiting
they're
for you two to get some sense and come in.
yeah, they're calling for snow
Yeah.
here in Halloween, the 31st.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
And
Okay.
reminding everybody that Saturday night, do you guys participate in the whole changing of the clock thing?
We just did it last night.
Oh, you did it already.
Yes.
So it's an hour earlier for you today.
Yes.
So next week it's going to be an
Wow.
hour earlier for us.
Oh, wait a
Mhm.
minute.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder, did I come in? Wait a minute. What time do you have?
Oh yeah,
Am I an hour late?
you were an
Yes.
hour late. That's why I
Oh,
sent you a message.
oh, I thought you sent that moments before time.
Yeah, so there's only 15 minutes left.
I thought it was an hour and 15 minutes.
No.
Wow.
No.
Adventures in
I
time.
remember
Yep.
when you were talking about the meditation, and I said, "Oh, you all really started it early. You started right
No.
on the hour on 6 o'clock, and let's do it."
No, and then I said to everybody, I'm like, I haven't heard from Mickey. And I said, let me make sure she's okay. So and then I,
I am absolutely blown away. I'm sitting here, and my clock says 6:45.
okay. Well, so for us, it is 2:45.
Yes, but see, I'm looking at the phone in the room, and it's automatic, so it does say that it's 7:45. It's the computer that didn't change. That has my alarm
Well,
on it.
next week we'll catch up.
Ah,
Next week,
I am so sorry. Oh
that's
my
all right.
goodness.
We'll catch up next week. And I did hear from Jeff that he will be here next week, but he wasn't able to be here this week. When I send out the reminders, I will remind everybody that is turn your clock back an hour.
Yes,
Yeah.
because
But you've
oh
already
my
done
goodness.
it. So
Yeah, we've done it, but I didn't realize that my computer doesn't do it automatically. I'm so used to that being part of the program,
right.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I am shocked.
I was
Okay, but the
hoping
telephones have changed.
Halloween was going to be Sunday. I was going to come dressed.
Oh,
Well, you can still dress up.
yes, you could.
That would have been my 45-year anniversary on November 1st.
I see. Well,
Also.
you could each come dressed as a different you,
Yeah.
That's right.
one of your probable selves.
How interesting.
Mm.
Have you
Mhm.
ever felt some of your probable yous? Do you think that you have those bleed throughs that you know?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
every now and then.
I've really been reading Oversoul 7. I am so I finished the first book, so now I'm on the further education of Oversoul.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And yeah, I'm pretty excited about these books.
Yeah, it's an interesting experience to run into one of your probable selves,
Well,
whether you actually say anything or not. But yeah.
even in this existence, we have probable selves. At least I know I
Yes,
do.
that's what I'm saying.
I've got two cousins. Their lives are almost exactly like mine. I mean, we're almost the same person,
Mm.
the three of us. But it's like we take turns being having
You might be the same
experience that
person.
we're
You
all
might be
having.
fragments.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, growing up, everybody always mistook us for one another, and we're not even that. Well, we're all first. Well, one is a second cousin, the other's a first cousin of mine, but we're all very, very similar. And of course, we're related, but there is more similarity than just appearance.
Yeah,
It's
that is amazing.
personality and life experience and events very much the same, even. Yeah. And overlapping and interchanging. So I've always recognized that we are probable selves of one another. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a strange sensation to be
Yeah.
around each other when that's true. Yeah. And usually there are 10 or 15 years between times that has happened for me. you know, very strange. I just know that there is so much more to all of this, so much more. I'm amazed that Seth was able to communicate as much as he did, considering the enormity of the subject matter and how much more he could have gone on books about it for decades.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much more.
He said he had 40 years of information, but he only had
Jesus.
21 years of her life.
Of her life, yeah.
So he tried to get as much through as he could.
Yeah.
And the most important parts, or at least some of each part. And so it's almost like you have to rely on your own inner guidance for the rest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's just amazing.
And
And the extent to which we're all energized by his information, little units going out to promulgate, to create more of it, more people who know about it.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
That's why, and that's why I love promoting the books that aren't the more common ones, because there's such good information in them.
That's
And the
amazing.
class sessions are so cool because he really kind of let his hair down and he joked with the kids. And, although I know there was a mix of people, all different ages and statures in life, but he was freer. It wasn't a dictation, he wasn't writing a book. He was just talking to people.
Right.
So he was a little freer, and people would come up with questions and thoughts. What I read in the beginning was about meditation and his thoughts on that, and that we shouldn't box ourselves into any specific way. And that's something that I always thought I was meditating, like, I wouldn't say wrong, but meditating like a newbie. Because guided meditations were what I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
because my mind won't quiet.
That's my problem.
It's always doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't realize until you come back that you've been anywhere. You're sitting there really thinking that I'm keeping track and there's nothing happening. And then bingo, suddenly you're back from somewhere and you didn't even know any time had passed.
Yes.
You were just gone. It doesn't send you a message and say, we're going now.
Yeah. Well, I did the side time the other night, and I went to sleep. Well, I started doing it with the intention of going to apartment 5. And I remember standing by the windows and looking around and thinking, oh, it looks great, it's the same place. And then the next thing I knew, I was waking up in the morning. It was that fast.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It
happens.
Amazing. I can't get over this timing thing. Oh gosh, that blows my mind.
It's okay. Yeah. Well, I'm glad
It's
I
so
brought
weird.
it up.
I am too. It's
See, and
so weird.
I don't know. I mean, even in our country, like Arizona doesn't participate in it. I know
Really?
Mexico doesn't. No,
Oh,
Arizona does not participate in it. So they're
because
always their same time.
we say fall back and spring forward.
Correct. And we do that too. But yeah, there's other countries that don't do it.
Interesting.
Yes.
So what time is it really?
Yeah, you can't know, can you?
It's all time.
It's all
Time
time.
is now.
Yeah, that's the
That's
only
right.
time there is now.
Yeah. Yes.
That's so
someday
weird.
there'll be universal time. I mean, we'll all be on the same calendar, all on the same clock, all on the same day. I think that's what they're working toward.
Well, I don't know
I
how they could
mean,
do it with the fact that we're on
city planners.
a globe, we're on a circular object,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it can't possibly be the same time
I think
Everywhere.
technology is what will make the difference down the road.
Maybe.
When you can live on one side of the planet and go to work on another side of the planet,
Yeah,
and be there like within 10 minutes. That's
right.
that's our future. At some
Right.
point, then it
Uh-huh.
won't matter what what time of day it is. I mean, we can all be on the same time and all on the same day. I think that's what it's headed to.
Gee whiz.
I
No,
know.
no international timeline then.
Mm-hmm,
That will go away.
I mean, really,
Yeah.
if you look at it, here we are, 4 people, we're in 3 different time zones. Audrey and I are in the same one. But we're all talking now in real
Yeah,
time.
in real
So,
time.
yeah. Yeah, wrap your head around that one. How does that work?
It just explains further about there only being the now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We
Even
can
though the
agree on
now,
a way to find out what the now should be called,
exactly. Yes.
but we're in the expanded now
Mm-hmm.
and expanded now.
Yeah. Now, is it dark where you are, Mickey?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
so it's
is.
dark
It's
now. Just sunset.
mhm.
Okay. So the sun is shining
Oh,
brightly.
it's completely dark.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's completely dark because it gets dark very early here in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So it's been dark for about an hour.
Okay. So about when you signed on.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's all right. So you will have to go back and listen to the first hour.
Yes, I will.
That's your homework.
Hmm.
We
I
all
often
have
go
our
back
assignment.
through, the
And
ones that we've done.
yeah, and I don't have anything ready for next week. So my assignment is to get ready for next week.
That's going to be
So
interesting.
we'll do another experiment on
Mm.
astral projection. So, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
will try to have the right book this time.
Mm.
And I'll post it to Facebook.
And I will try astral projection and I'll let you know.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's good.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun
Yeah.
to be able to, like, when I've spontaneously done it in my sleep and gone flying, those are some of the best dreams ever.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen very often, but boy, I
No.
remember them like they're so real. And I'm like, this is what I'm really capable of doing.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
And there's
It's
a take. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
There's a takeoff on that called bilocation
Yes.
or multi-location,
Hmm.
where you can show up physically in more than one place
Yes,
simultaneously.
that's right.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that would be the next step beyond, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's just amazing to
Now,
try and contemplate. I mean,
well, Seth did say if you
Yeah.
concentrate hard enough on being in one place that people can sense you there. And
hmm
possibly,
Yeah.
you talk about animals, right? Martin told a story about where he went out of his body as a dog was trying to attack him and it scared the dog and the dog ran away. So, um but that could be why some animals are spooked and you
yeah,
never know why.
you never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Good to
Yeah,
know
it was.
how to do.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes the more spontaneous these things are, the stronger they are.
I think there's a reason for that that's connected to the fact that if you don't know before it happens, then you can't bring up any of your negative doubts.
Yes,
You simply go with the flow. You go into it, it's happening, and you have to react
right.
as your true self. But
Yes,
you
you're right.
didn't overladen the whole thing with, no, I hope this doesn't happen, and I hope that doesn't happen, and blah, 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 blah. Just be quiet and go with it.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
So everybody practice astral projection. Like that.
Yes.
That is, I wish I had homework like that when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. Me too. Oh, that would have made a big difference, wouldn't it?
Sure would have. Sure would have. Daydreaming then would have been the right thing to do, not you weren't scolded for it.
Right.
You daydreamer, come back to reality. Really?
No, stay there and bring back some ideas that we all need.
Yes.
Oh, encourage that.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. So, well, guys, here it is, 2:58.
Okay.
Almost 3 o'clock. So I am going to call it another week, and we will be back next week, and it will be Eastern Standard Time next week. And please, we will put this up on YouTube, and I'll probably get it up later tonight. I've been pretty good
Yeah.
about it now and getting it on the
Yeah.
website. I've now got a kind of a process, so it works a little faster. And for anybody that's now joined, this week is dedicated to getting all the thank yous out for the donations that have been given to the Seth House. I have been very remiss in doing them, and I'm so sorry. So that's my task for this week, is all Seth House work. I'm going to get the thank yous out, and I'm going to get the meditation done for next week, and make sure that I turn my clock back, and I will join all of you Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern
Okay.
Standard Time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
No
you
problem.
all for being here.
Good to
Charlie
see
says,
you.
thank you, Kate. Thanks, Charlie. And Judy, thanks for, the questions. And Joe, thank you for all your input. So we love our Facebook friends too. And, anybody that wants to jump on and be part of the panel, I invited something like 27 people on. Jeff will be here next week. And, I never know who else, you three, thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
don't like it when I'm here by myself.
I don't
Yeah.
either.
No.
It feels weird. Judy says, enjoyed. Thank you. Have a good week. And thank you for taking my question through. It helped. Hugs. Great.
Aw, excellent.
I love that we can help. Thanks, everybody.
Good
And
night,
have a
everyone.
wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Love
Bye.
you all.
Love you
Love you
too.
too. Bye-bye.